Chapter 12. The Currency of Time. The Rhythm of Seasons. There is a time for everything under heaven, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to be born and a time to pass on what we've learned. Time is not our enemy, it is our greatest teacher. Each season of life holds a sacred meaning, and as we live, we are invited to embrace each one with our full hearts. In youth, we plant dreams. In adulthood, we nurture them through effort and endurance. In later years, we reap the fruits of our love, labor, and faith. The circle is home when we see those fruits growing in the faces of our grandchildren. I am now in the harvest season, not the kind that fills barns, but the kind that fills the soul. My garden of life has ripened under years of sun and rain, and as I look around, I see the most precious blossoms, the children of my children, running freely under the shade of trees we once planted. Time as the divine gardener. The older I grow, the more I understand that time itself is the divine way of tending to us. We are all saplings in God's garden, sometimes pruned, sometimes watered, sometimes left to rest in the quiet winter. Yet through it all, there is divine intention behind every season. In my younger years, I fought against time. I wanted everything to happen fast. Success, recognition, fulfillment. I mistook waiting for stagnation. But now I see that every delay was God's way of letting my roots grow deeper before I could bloom. The universe never rushes, yet everything unfolds in perfect order. The trees do not worry whether spring will come, they simply trust. So must we. Trusting the divine is not about predicting the future, it's about believing that whatever happens is exactly as it should be. The harvest of life, this season, the golden autumn of my life, is my harvest time. It is when I reap what years of nurturing have sown: family, love, wisdom, and peace. When I watch my grandchildren play in the garden, I feel like quiet joy of a farmer seeing her fields heavy with fruit. The seeds once planted with sacrifice and faith have now become living blessings. My granddaughter has a gentle eyes of my husband's youth. In her laughter, I see my own reflection like the echo of the melody returning home. My husband smiled at our grandson and silently thought of him as a joy. And I realized our lives have intertwined in the most beautiful way. The merging of the two bloodlines, one journey, two histories, have now created something entirely new. These little ones carry the best of both worlds, a harmony of heritage, love, and divine design. The continuation of bloodlines, a purpose of life is a continuation of the bloodline, not only through flesh, but through spirit. Just as the purpose of a tree is to bear fruit, our purpose is to extend love, wisdom, and kindness into the next generation. The tree does not eat its own fruits. Its joy is in giving. So it is with us. We live fully so that our children may stand stronger. We love deeply so that love becomes their inheritance. When I hold my grandchildren close, I see generations of prayers behind their little faces, ancestors whose names are now whispers in heaven, yet whose love still flows through their veins. I feel the sacred thread that connects the past, the present, and the future, all woven in a gentle hand of the divine. The beautiful of mixed roots. Our family is a tapestry of cultures, colors, and stories. The union between the Cutshaw and Nguyen bloodlines has created a new generation that carries both East and West within their hearts. I see in my granddaughter the grace of Vietnamese heritage, the patience, the softness, the quiet strength, and in her laughter I see the freedom and light of America, the spirit of my husband's lineage. My grandson carries a steadiness of his grandfather, the curiosity of the Western mind, and the tender heart of the East. Together, they represent the world needs most: unity beyond origin, love beyond boundaries. When I look at them, I see the evolution of love itself, the blending of two worlds that once seemed far apart has now become a beautiful symphony in these little souls. Time has been the artist, and we are blessed to be its co-creators. The law of the universe is balance. Every season serves its purpose, even when we cannot see it. Spring teaches us hope. Summer teaches us endurance. Autumn teaches us gratitude. Winter teaches us faith. In our younger years, we often resist the slowing pace of life, afraid that it means loss. But the truth is, slowing down is not losing time, it is feeling it fully. Just as the earth rests in the winter to prepare for spring, our souls also need quiet seasons to reflect and renew. Each stage of life is sacred. Each moment is a part of divine rhythm. The lesson of time is simple. Stop fighting what must change and start embracing what is becoming. The gift of harvest season. Every morning now feels like a blessing wrapped in golden light. I no longer rush, I savor. The scent of the coffee shared with my husband in the garden is poetry. The laughter of our grandchildren is the sweetest song. Harvest season is not about doing, it's about being. It is about sitting under the tree you once planted, feeling the breeze and knowing that life has come full circle. When I watch my grandchildren grow, I see the continuation of dreams I once carried. They are living proof that the love we gave was not in vain. They are the answer to prayers I didn't even know how to speak decades ago. time is gentle mirror. Time reflects what we invest. When we spend it on love, it multiplies. When we waste it on worry, it dissolves. Looking back, I see how fast the years have flown. My sons growing into men, starting their own families, and now becoming fathers themselves. I once worried about their future, but God has planned greater than my fear. Now I understand that life's purpose isn't to control time, but to flow with it. Every chapter leads to another. Every ending is a beginning in disguise. In this reflection, I no longer feel sadness of the passing of years. Instead, I feel gratitude that I was chosen to leave them. The divine desire of continuation, the divine works in cycles, life renewing itself endlessly. The river does not resist flowing into the ocean, for it knows it will return as rain. And in the same way, we pass on our exchange and its returns in the new forms. Our bloodlines are rivers flowing through time. What began in Czechoslovakia generations ago and in Vietnam across oceans now meets in the laughter of our grandchildren. Two histories joined by love carry forward by destiny. It is humbling to see how love's desire transcends distance, language, and culture. The divine plan, this long before we ever met, and through our grandchildren, the plan continues, living proof that love is stronger than time. The well of the generations. True wealth is not found in possessions, but in generations that carry the flame of love forward. When I see my grandchildren learning kindness, compassion, and curiosity, I know the legacy is alive. Wealth is not only what you leave for them, but what you leave in them. Each time I tell them stories about where we came from, I am planting roots of identity and wings of possibility. They might live in a modern world, but the wisdom of their ancestors beats within them. This is how time becomes eternal and love transcends generations. Embracing each season with full heart. Every season of life deserves our full embrace. In youth, we live passionately. In adulthood, responsibly. In later years, gracefully. Each phase has its beauty. I have learned not to mourn the passing of time, but to welcome its transformation. Just as the leaves fall to make room for new growth, we too must let go of certain chapters to make space for what's next. The key is to live with a full heart, present, grateful, trusting. The more we embrace the now, the richer our lives become. This is not end of our story, but a new season of purpose to nurture, to guide, and to love those who come after us. The trust in divine timing. Trusting the divine means understanding that time is never wasted. Every moment of stillness carry meaning. There were years I thought that I was standing still when life slowed down, when others seemed to move faster. But now I see those years as a quiet forming of wisdom. The divine does not measure success the way humans do. While we count years and milestones, God counts growth in the soul. Every unanswered prayer was a redirection. Every waiting period was a preparation. Now, in the harvest season, I trust the divine timing completely. I no longer ask when, but simply say thank you. Time and the sacred duty of legacy. To live is to leave something sacred behind. Our duty is not to hold on to time, but to let it flow through us with purpose. Just as the tree gives fruit and shade, we are called to nourish those who come after us. Every story told, every value taught, every act of love given, these are the seeds of eternity. When we invest our time in love, we become timeless. My hope is that one day my grandchildren are grown. They will look back and say, my grandparents show us what love looks like. That, to me, is the truest well, the mixed symphony of life. Our family is a living symphony of contrasts, blended by love, east and west, old and new, tradition and modernity, all find harmony in the laughter that fills our home. The Cutshaw and the Nguyen names may come from different continents, but they meet in one melody, family. Time has composed this song for us. Every note of hardship, every rest of waiting, every crescendo of joy, all led to this harmony. And as I hold my granddaughter's tiny hand, I whisper to her, you are the music of our love, the eternal investment. The most valuable investment we can make is how we spend our time, not in fear, not in regret, but in love. The hours we spend teaching, listening, forgiving, and creating are the true currencies that enrich our lives. We spend wisely, they yield interest for generations. Time, when used in love, never dies. It simply transforms into memory, into legacy, into soul. The final reflection, a season well spent. The garden outside my window changes each year, and its essence remains. The same sunlight that once nurtured young blossoms now warms the faces of my grandchildren as they play. I sit beside my husband, watching them chase butterflies, and realize this is the reward of every season we endure. We have lived the spring of dreams, the summer of labor, the autumn of harvest. Now we enter the gentle winter of gratitude. We no longer chase time, we walk with it. We no longer wish to have more, we give thanks for enough. Our lives, once two separate journeys, have merged into a single legacy of love, and through the eyes of our grandchildren, we live again. Life lesson. There is a time in every season, and each one holds divine purpose. The tree's joy is to bear fruit. Our joy is to see life continue through love. Spend your time as you spend your heart, with trust, gratitude, and wonder. And when your days are sown in love, your harvest will last forever. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this chapter. Please tune in for the next chapter, and please click like and subscribe. Thank you.